Long before modern Thailand emerged, the people now known as the Siamese traced their roots to the Thai ethnic groups of the Yunnan region in southern China. In the 12th century CE, these Thai established the state of Nanzhao, but after its collapse and the Mongol invasions of the 13th century, they began a steady migration southward into mainland Southeast Asia. Moving into the lands of Sukhothai and Ayutthaya, then under Khmer influence, they became part of the historical record through inscriptions and carvings of the Angkor period, which depicted them as both soldiers and captives. Over time, the Siamese consolidated power, founding the Sukhothai kingdom in the 13th century, and later Ayutthaya, which laid the principal foundation for the modern Thai state.
Imagine a kingdom that stood at the crossroads of Asia, a land where Indian monks, Persian traders, Chinese envoys, and European explorers all left their footprints, a place where glittering palaces rose from the riverbanks and where golden-robed monks walked barefoot through bustling marketplaces. This is Siam, known today as Thailand. For centuries, Siam has fascinated the world not only for its beauty and culture, but for its resilience. While neighboring kingdoms were colonized by European empires, Siam remained free, navigating one of the most dangerous periods in world history. But Siam's story goes much deeper. It is not just a tale of kings and battles, but of people, belief, survival, and identity. Today, we'll travel across more than 1,000 years of history. We'll begin in the dawn of early civilizations, follow the rise of powerful kingdoms, walk through the splendor of Ayutthaya, and witness its destruction in fire. We'll meet kings who negotiated with empires, revolutionaries who demanded democracy, and ordinary people who shaped the culture we see today. This is not just the history of a country. It is the story of a people who learned to adapt, to protect their identity, and to carry it into the future. This is the entire history of Siam.
Long before anyone called it Siam, this land was already alive with human stories. Archaeologists have discovered evidence of ancient communities in the Chao Phraya River Basin, where fertile soil and abundant water created one of Southeast Asia's most hospitable environments. Farmers cultivated rice in paddies that shimmered like mirrors under the sun. Traders exchanged beads, shells, and ceramics across networks that stretched as far as India and China. But Siam was never an isolated island. From the west came ideas from India, Hindu gods, Buddhist teachings, and Sanskrit language. From the east came the Khmer, whose stone temples still stand in the jungles, whispering of an empire that once ruled much of this region. The Mon people contributed writing systems and religious traditions that deeply influenced the Thai. Picture a great river delta, countless small streams merging into one powerful current. That is the story of Siam's beginnings, a convergence of cultures, beliefs, and peoples. Out of this mixture rose early kingdoms like Dwaravati, with its circular city plans and Buddhist stupas, and Lopburi, with Khmer-style stone towers. These were not yet Siam, but they were the soil in which Siamese identity would grow. This early era laid the foundation, a devotion to Buddhism, an openness to outside influences, and a resilience shaped by living at the crossroads of civilizations.
In the 13th century, a new light appeared on the horizon. The Sukhothai kingdom was founded in 1238, often remembered as the birthplace of the Siamese nation. Its most famous ruler, King Ramkhamhaeng, not only expanded the kingdom's territory, but gave his people something more enduring, a written language. The Thai script, still used today, was said to have been created under his guidance, transforming oral traditions into a lasting cultural legacy. Sukhothai was not a kingdom of endless wars. It was remembered as a time of harmony, faith, and creativity. Theravada Buddhism, introduced from Sri Lanka, became the guiding philosophy. Temples were built with graceful lotus bud chaitis, and statues of the Buddha were crafted with serene faces and flowing robes that captured inner peace rather than divine power. Daily life in Sukhothai revolved around water. The kingdom developed complex irrigation systems, turning the land into a patchwork of fertile rice fields. Festivals were filled with music, dance, and offerings. The Loy Krathong festival, still celebrated today, is believed to have originated here. Floating lanterns gliding across dark waters, carrying prayers and wishes into the night. When later kings looked back, they saw Sukhothai as a golden age, the first light of dawn. Whether myth or reality, this vision of a peaceful and prosperous society became part of Siam's identity, a reminder of what the kingdom could be when guided by wisdom and faith.
By the mid-14th century, a new kingdom rose that would define Siam for centuries, Ayutthaya. Founded in 1351 by King U Thong, Ayutthaya was strategically located at the confluence of three rivers, the Chao Phraya, the Lopburi, and the Pa Sak. This made it a natural hub for trade, transportation, and military defense. Over the next 4 centuries, Ayutthaya became one of the wealthiest cities in the world. Merchants from China, Persia, Japan, and Europe arrived with silk, spices, silver, and ideas. The city was sometimes called the Venice of the East because of its canals, which gleamed in the sunlight as boats glided silently to and from the bustling markets. Kings of Ayutthaya built temples of breathtaking scale. Wat Prasi Sanpet and Wat Chaiwatanaram reflected grandeur and devotion, their gilded roofs reaching for the sky. The royal palace was a city within a city, filled with intricate murals depicting the Ramakien, the Siamese version of the Ramayana, where heroes and gods danced across painted walls. Ayutthaya's diplomacy was legendary. The kingdom welcomed foreign envoys, learning from them while carefully maintaining sovereignty. Portuguese, French, Dutch, and Japanese traders were allowed to settle in designated quarters, exchanging knowledge of navigation, warfare, and architecture. Ayutthaya's people, meanwhile, cultivated arts, poetry, and medicine. Buddhist monks preserved knowledge in scriptures in schools, and everyday citizens thrived in villages surrounding the city. Yet Ayutthaya was not immune to war. Battles with Burma were frequent, testing the kingdom's resilience. Despite sieges and fires, the kingdom endured, becoming a symbol of Siamese strength and culture. For centuries, Ayutthaya shone as the jewel of Southeast Asia, a cosmopolitan marvel unmatched by any other city in the region.
Even the mightiest kingdoms can fall. In 1767, Burmese armies invaded Ayutthaya, setting fire to the city and leaving it in ruins. Palaces collapsed, libraries were destroyed, and centuries of art and culture went up in smoke. The people fled or were enslaved, and the once glittering capital became a ghost of its former self. Out of this devastation rose General Thaksin, a brilliant and ambitious leader who rallied the scattered Siamese forces. He established a temporary capital at Thonburi and set about uniting the country. Thaksin's reign was intense and visionary, filled with military campaigns and cultural rebuilding, but it was also turbulent. Political struggles and his eventual mental instability ended his rule tragically. Yet his efforts prevented Siam from splintering entirely. Thaksin's legacy was not forgotten. His vision laid the groundwork for the rise of the Chakri dynasty and the establishment of Bangkok as a new permanent capital. From the ashes of Ayutthaya, Siam would rise again. In 1782, General Chakri ascended the throne as King Rama I and founded a new capital, Bangkok. Chosen for its defensible location along the Chao Phraya River, Bangkok would become the heart of the Siamese kingdom for centuries. The city's first grand project was the Grand Palace, home to the revered Emerald Buddha. This sacred statue, carved from jade, symbolized the divine protection and legitimacy of the monarchy. The Chakri dynasty brought order after decades of chaos. Laws were codified, the bureaucracy streamlined, and arts were revived. Literature, dance, and architecture flourished as the court set standards for the kingdom. Bangkok became a city of contrasts, walled and fortified, yet alive with trade, ceremony, and ritual. Its canals earned it the nickname Venice of the East, echoing the legacy of Ayutthaya. This period also saw the stabilization of Siamese culture. Rituals, festivals, and Buddhist practices became integral to national identity. The Siamese people, once scattered and under threat, now had a capital that represented both power and cultural continuity. Bangkok was not just a city, it was a symbol that Siam had endured, adapted, and would continue to thrive.
The 19th century brought unprecedented challenges. European empires were spreading across Asia. Britain conquered Burma and Malaysia. France colonized Indochina. Siam, surrounded by imperial powers, faced the threat of subjugation. But the Siamese kings were shrewd diplomats. King Mongkut, Rama IV, and later King Chulalongkorn, Rama V, embraced Western knowledge without surrendering sovereignty. Mongkut negotiated treaties and learned English, science, and mathematics to understand European intentions. Chulalongkorn embarked on modernization, building railways, telegraph systems, and schools, reforming the legal code and abolishing slavery gradually, ensuring social stability. Through careful diplomacy and adaptation, Siam avoided colonization. The kingdom became a rare example of independence maintained through foresight, intellect, and flexibility. It was a balancing act akin to a skilled dancer moving gracefully between two elephants, avoiding disaster while keeping one's balance. By the early 20th century, Siam had emerged as a modernizing kingdom, confident in its identity and resilient in its sovereignty.
In 1932, the absolute monarchy of Siam came to an end in a bloodless revolution, ushering in a constitutional monarchy. Politicians, military officers, and reformers reshaped the governance of the country. Though the king remained a symbolic figure, power shifted toward elected representatives and bureaucrats. World War II brought new trials. Siam allied with Japan under pressure, but Thai resistance networks quietly undermined occupation forces. Post-war, Thailand navigated the complex geopolitics of the Cold War, becoming an ally of the United States, hosting military bases and participating in regional anti-communist efforts. These decades were marked by rapid political changes, coups, and the growth of a modern Thai state. Throughout these turbulent years, the Thai people endured, adapted, and contributed to the survival and modernization of their nation. Their resilience became part of the national story, an enduring legacy from the days of Sukhothai and Ayutthaya.
In 1939, Siam officially became Thailand, the land of the free. The new name symbolized unity and independence.
The mid-20th century was a period of nation building. Infrastructure, education, and industry developed rapidly, while coups and political struggles marked a journey toward modern governance. Thailand also became known internationally for its rich culture. Food, art, music, and festivals showcased a nation proud of its history yet embracing the future. Thai boxing, silk weaving, and cuisine became global ambassadors. From Bangkok's neon-lit streets to Chiang Mai's ancient temples, Thailand combined modernity and tradition like no other nation. Through these decades, the story of Siam, its struggles, triumphs, and identity was carried forward by ordinary people as much as by kings, diplomats, and generals. Their daily lives, rituals, and innovations ensured the continuity of a civilization more than 1,000 years old.
The legacy of Siam is not merely survival, it is adaptation. Across centuries, Siam preserved its independence while neighbors fell to empires. Its culture absorbed ideas from India, Khmer, China, and Europe, yet retained a unique identity. Religion, art, governance, and daily life were all shaped by both external influence and internal innovation. Siam's story reminds us that history is not just the tale of kings and wars, but of resilience, foresight, and identity. Today, as Thailand moves into the future, the spirit of Siam lives on in temples, festivals, and traditions that continue to captivate the world. From the rice fields of Sukhothai to the skyscrapers of Bangkok, the journey of Siam endures, timeless and free.